Professor Madhu Veeraraghavan is the Director and TAPMI Chair Professor of Finance at Pai Management Institute, Manipal. He obtained his MBA, Finance and Investments and PhD, Asset Pricing from Griffith University, Australia. He has held positions at the University of Auckland Business School, Associate Professor 2003-2005 and Monash University, Melbourne, Professor, Head of the Department of Accounting and Finance. He has a teaching experience of more than 17 years and has published over 50 papers in international journals and has presented his work in top conferences in finance and accounting.
Today morning we would like to start by talking about the specializations at TAPMI. So TAPMI has a PGDM program. Along with it we also have super specializations such as BKFS, that is Banking and Financial Services, HRM, and the newly launched program MSM, which is Marketing and Sales Management. What is the strategy behind having a PGDM General and then super specializations, and how does this align with the vision of TAPMI to not only differentiate itself for the aspirants but also for the recruiters?
Okay. So thank you, Ayush, for the question. When we first looked at, I came in 2013, at that point we only had the PGDM program. But TAPMI had actually got the approval for a BKFS program to be launched. So in 14 we decided that we knew there was a severe talent crunch in the country, and there was definite requirement. There still is a huge requirement for sort of banking professionals and capital market professionals. So we wanted to come up with a banking program which was almost on the lines of the MS program in finance, which meant very rigorous, but at the same time has a lot of industry inputs coming in, where we have senior bankers coming in co-teaching the program in the second year. So our view was that in say in a decade's time, we should be able to create CFOs and chief treasury officers, that sort of very, very senior level positions coming out of the BKFS program. We looked around the country and there were really no programs that were anywhere close to what we actually had in mind. And we realized that there was a definite gap, and all schools were only doing the PGDM, but they had a finance major. But nobody was actually creating a niche program which the focus was entirely on banking and finance. And that's why we created the program. It's now been 4+ years. And the market has really accepted the program very, very nicely. And I mentioned to you earlier that this program is mapped both to the CFA Institute CBOC and the FRM at GARP. So we actually encourage the people who come into this program to not just stop at PGDM, but then go one step further and do the CFA if they choose the capital markets track, or the FRM, which is the banking track. So our view is that the PGDM should be more of a generalist program, and the BKFS, HR, and the marketing and sales management should be for people who genuinely want careers in those sorts of areas. So that's why we created the BKFS program, and I think it's going great. And now we have 42 students this year, and we have a batch we can take up to 60. Very, very rigorous process, looking at CAT percentile 90 and above. We're looking for people who genuinely want to have careers in banking and in capital markets. And that's one thing that the motivation levels have got to be very high for those people. Okay. So that's why we created that program.
And this is a similar approach also which we have taken for the other two.
Yeah, when we looked at this, again was an 1.5 years ago, I was talking to a lot of people inside TAPMI and said, we have 23, 24 students majoring in HR, but there's nothing so specialized about it. Why don't we create a top class HR program? And again, you want to do a benchmarking study, you want to do a little market research to see who's doing what. And we knew IMENDOR has a program, Symbiosis has a program, TIS obviously has a program. So there are 5 or 6 schools that have a program. But I've always wanted our programs to be different to other programs. So we aligned with SHRM. And then we said, we want you to come in. And so everybody, the students who are in the batch now have to take SHRM certifications. We have a long internships. Normally in the PGDM we have a 2-month internship, but SHRM mandates how the internship should be done, what sort of profiles they should be getting into. So we said we will do that. And so now the students who are doing HR program, PGDM HR, will probably end up doing 3 or 4 month internships, as opposed to a PGDM who only does a 2-month internship. my
So
view...
even the structure of the program is totally different.
Absolutely
so it is very
different.
customized to it.
Totally.
Unlike a PGDM where the first year subjects are common,
Correct.
this is not the case.
There may be one course that can be common across all the
The
programs.
faculty and the course
Yeah.
overlap is minimal.
Minimal. And even if there is an overlap, Ayush, the way it's taught is different. So if I am teaching financial accounting for an HR, then the approach is going to be different to when it's going to be taught to a BKFS student, right? Because for an HR, it's not necessary they have to get into the accounting standards and all those sorts of stuff. So our approach is also going to be different, and it is different in this cohorts, in these courses. But what I wanted to mention to you is with the BKFS program and with the HR program, for example, in the HR, my view is that in a decade or so, we should be having a lot of CHROs, a VPHR, really senior level people. I mean, you take XLRIs, classic example, right? I mean, just about everybody today in corporate India, the HR person happens to be from Excel probably. And therefore, the connect is amazing in corporate India. And that is something that I want to see TAPMI do, and TAPMI do much better. So therefore, that was the motivation behind setting up the HR program. And now, incidentally, we also are building the HR area internally at TAPMI. We now have almost 10 faculty, hiring more faculty. We are working very closely with the SHRM. We have a great advisory board for all three programs. Significant industry inputs come from very senior industry people on, hey, I know this is the strategy for the program. Maybe you should look at introducing this course. Maybe this is how you want to position it. So number of inputs we get based on which we keep strengthening the program in HR. When we go to the marketing and sales management, which we only launched, in fact, this is the first batch that's going to come in. We launched on November 17 in Bangalore when we had the brand scan event. Again, TAPMI has great depth in faculty, right? We have amazing faculty in all areas. And marketing has been TAPMI has been known for marketing for many number of years. You would know it from your own experience, from the people that you speak to. Finance has come sort of age in the last 5 years. But TAPMI, when somebody say marketing, they would say, I think you should go to TAPMI. That's how it was. And that's how it is still. But I thought, we again doing the same PGDM program. What about sales? We get so many profiles in TAPMI. And unfortunately, sometimes students say, I'm not a trained salesperson. I don't know how to go and do this. I'm really looking for a brand or a market research, that sort of a profile. And I felt there are so many people in this country who have amazing sort of experience in sales, but probably don't have the necessary postgraduate program to sort of grow further in their career. So we said, let's work together. And Guraj Kadur, who is now going to be the program coordinator for this program, and we all sat together in the marketing area, we sort of brainstormed, and we launched a fantastic program. And now that's going to be offered from the batch that's going to come in 1921 batch. We are not going to take anybody and everybody into this program. It's going to be people who have excellent field experience in sales and who want to become sort of chief sales officers, right? I mean, without selling, there's no revenue. And people always think, do you really need a PGDM program to do sales? And they're completely mistaken. And their understanding is so shallow that if you do not have sales, you have no revenue, no profits. Where is the company headed? So the salespeople have a great job to perform. And I think if you were to work very closely with the industry, and if you were to demonstrate that this is a top-notch program, and by the way, TAPMI will be the first school in the country to offer a PGDM in sales. There is no school in the country. Everybody offers as a marketing major in PGDM.
Or not a 2-year program, maybe a shorter version or a certification.
And I can tell you, we have checked, we have trawled the web, and we couldn't find a single school that offers a PGDM sales, which I think is a magnificent thing to do. And we really are going to fill the gap, at least make a series to fill the gap. And I think we get 25 to 30 people who've got 2.5 years of experience in sales, and they want to come in and do a superb PGDM state-of-the-art program. I'm telling you, Aish, this program is going to be one of the most sought-out programs in the country. So our view is in each of these three programs, I want to see leadership develop. I want to see a C-suite happening. So with the BKFS, it's going to be CFOs, treasury officers, bankers. With the HR, it's CHROs, VPHR. With the sales, it's chief sales officers, VP sales. In India, it's called VP sales. In the West, it's CSOs. So that's the sort of vision we have for this program. So it's not just we want to get some 20, 30 people and run a program. We're not cobbling up some courses here and there. These are very, very well thought out, and genuinely people who want to make careers will walk into this program. So I am supremely confident that these 3 super specialist programs will cater to a significant demand across all of these sectors and areas, and we're able to at least make an attempt to sort of address the talent crunch that is so seriously happening in this country at this point in time.